Okay, so this is Bryn, and I am recording my video for my classroom comparisons. I'm comparing two different kindergarten first grade classrooms, actually in two different buildings. And this is just a quick shot of one of the rooms generally, and then a quick shot of the other room. And I think that most people would say, so I'm going to take just a couple of seconds to just pan all the way around both rooms just to give you an idea a little bit what they look like. Actually, I realized on the second video that I forgot to get the smart board at the front of the room. There's a nice room, lots of color, well lit, windows looking out there onto the playground that late in October isn't covered with snow yet, but that's surprising. Little play kitchen area, some bins and files, places for kids to put their activities. Over toward the end of the room, again, nice colors up there. A carpeted area where kids can sit on the floor. Another whiteboard. A desk. This room actually has two entry exits, so that's one of them. A sink. You can see some named cards up to the top. Another sink. There's a third sink. Apparently, these kids are quite sloppy in this class. So now we're going to take a look, a pan around the other room again. Here you'll notice right away the room's a little bit darker, lots of colorful items in the room, but as you go across, looks a little more cramped, a little more crowded. One of the things you notice is that there are no windows in this room. It's a basement room, and the day that I went to look at it, there was a sub there that day, so I didn't get a good look at the. So I think if we asked most kids, which room do you want to be in, we would expect them to say, well, I want to be in that nice brightly lit room with all the fancy windows so I can look out at the playground. I was a little surprised to learn, though, that the kids actually prefer the other, smaller, dingy room. I don't think just because of the styles of the two different teachers, but because of some specific things that we can pan around here one more time and maybe get a little bit better look at. So as we go back to that first classroom again, you'll see again, really brightly lit, lots of exciting, fun, colorful things to do, desks and chairs, lots of colorful stuff on the wall. Again, our messy sinks for sloppy kids, lots of cupboards to store stuff. And obviously just by the day you can see some kind of organization there for the whole class. With some of those activities for the week up there on the board, notice the little blue things on the back of the chairs. Those are actually name tags for assigned seats. Now as we move into the other room, I just want to focus on some of the different places to work in this room. So first you'll see there's a blue divider there, and next to that there's actually a standing desk for kids who don't want to sit while they're working on their stuff. Next, as we go around the room, you'll see there's a beanbag on the floor, that underneath the desks you can see a bunch of bouncy balls for kids who don't want to sit at chairs. There's a beanbag. There's also one of those big round whatever net chairs for kids to sit in. The teacher in this room spends a lot of time talking about self-regulation, getting the kids to be able to control their own energy levels. Here you also see there's a rocking chair for kids to sit in, not just for the teacher. And there are some tents around the room that the kids can use for some alone time when they want to do reading and work on something by themselves. Again, here's the very end of the room with the mat, just like the other room. So again, when you first look at this room, it looks a little cluttered, it looks a little disorganized. It doesn't seem nearly as inviting as the first room, but the kids love this room. One of the other things that you might notice as we scroll around is that there are chairs, but there are no name tags on the desk. This room doesn't have assigned seats. There aren't places that kids have to be. And they like being in this room because they like having that freedom to find a comfortable place to work and to also be able to maintain their own energy level. So we really have a pretty good example of two different rooms, one of which was really well designed in the building phase, the other one that was really well organized in the actual classroom setup phase. And They didn't have much to work with this in this room, but boy, did they do a great job of turning it into a first-rate learning space. So this is my comparison of classrooms.